Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Nate. Thought I'd show you the garden up here in the hills. It's looking pretty good. This is what you gotta do around here. Create a fortress around your precious produce. Tin fortress. Keep out all the critters. Because it's a constant battle. And you never seem to have the upper hand when it comes to putting up with these guys. So just wanted to take a seat. Wanted to share with everybody. I got a unique video this time around. I had a chance to visit Phoenix Weaponry in Berthoud, Colorado, and talk with the owner a little bit, pick his brain, and figure out kind of what makes him tick and what the goal is, what his goal is for their business there. And yeah, completely unfunded. Just volunteered my time to help promote a great American local business and the Second Amendment. It's always important. So yeah, enjoy the show, and let me know what you think. Appreciate the audience. I appreciate everybody else who's subscribed so far to my channel and liked my videos, and even got a few comments, so that's a good thing. Just trying to continually promote liberty and shout down the little tyrannical bullies that are trying to shame this country right now into submission. And I'm tired of it. I, for one, am tired of it, and I know most of you out there are too. So I think most of my audience are pretty like-minded, and I think most of us know what's at stake right now in this country. You know, I had a thought today. I keep hearing something over here. It's like a really big ground squirrel. That's my guess. Anyway, I personally think it's time for some serious pushback, because if we don't push back, they'll just keep taking more and more of our freedoms away. And, you know, eventually what their goal is to bring this country to its knees. And so us patriots, we gotta stick together and help each other out, support each other, and that's what I'm doing with this video. Phoenix Weaponry in Berthoud, the great town of Berthoud. If you guys all heard what happened recently, the sheriff, they pretty much formed a posse on horseback and chased Antifa out of town. So that's a fun watch, I guess, if you do a search, Berthoud, Colorado, Antifa. So that's just an indication of what type of people we got going, living out there in that great town of Berthoud. So enjoy the watch. Thanks everybody for their support, and we'll talk to y'all later. God bless. We'll see you.
all my toys I've drug around for years. We got Mosins, we got Mausers, we've got old trench guns, we got modified Mausers. There's M1 Grands. You name it.
See that trench gun. I just did a podcast on World War I. In the trenches, it was called. Wow. Nice. That's real, huh?
Well, we don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
There's some odd,
he's the guy that
there's some odd stuff. It appears to be a breakdown, which I don't think they did any breakdown trench guns.
Wow. I've never heard one.
Yeah, the shot.
This one actually is a breakdown, so there's a way to take it all apart and the whole front end comes off, which is
they're right in the trenches. They just
right. So, but yeah, she's pretty cool, rusty as can be. But the stock actually has some really cool wood in here.
Yeah.
You know.
Those details.
But she's rough.
That's one of yours?
Yeah, I just found it at the gun show.
That thing looks heavy, man. I want to try holding that.
Here.
Want to hold it? Sure. Jeez.
Here's one I made.
That thing looks like something out of the zombie apocalypse right there.
This is one I got for cheap at a gun show. And what I wanted to do was actually get it so it would work. Maybe. There we go. But it's what's left of a Marlin. So what was interesting though is that somebody actually, they put some silver solder on here to keep the gates and everything where they're supposed to be. So I built this whole thing up. I got the shroud for it and everything like that. And I already had 17 bayonet for it. But then my one friend's like, you know, if you shoot anything other than like, you know, real low brass or black powder through this thing, this bolt flies out and takes off a chunk of your face.
Nice.
Like, so I built this thing thinking I was going to do something with it. But yeah, this one's got the big old, you know, 1917 Enfield bayonet.
Can you imagine that? Just charging.
Yeah.
One of those here.
Well, no wonder they're so ticked off at us. I mean, so we jump into a trench and hit them with a bunch of buckshot, right? Now we have fixed a small sword to the end of it. And we're like, yeah, that'll do it.
Nice. Want to see that, Rich? It's pretty cool.
For that one?
Yeah, I got one of those still somewhere. Suicide Special, they're called, the little pistols.
Yeah.
That's what I think Rich told me about those. They just blow up in your face. If you're filming, you gotta film. You can't just stand there looking at the ground.
Well, this one's kind of cool.
I'm not filming.
This one's actually a Veterali.
I will be now.
Red light on, and you're filming. Okay.
So this was a Veterali. What's neat about this one was a rim fire, and then they converted it to center fire at one point, so it has a full sleeve in it and everything. But the bore, you can actually see where they sleeved it. Look at the size of the sleeve they pushed in there.
Rich, we're getting into this because this is the guy that makes them, right, Richie? Exactly what he's talking about. Yeah. Man, all these old guns, dude.
But this one's cool because I mean, you imagine taking like a couple thousand of these things and deciding that you're no longer going to use rimfire as a country, and then boring all of them out, sleeving all of them, and rechamber them in 6.5. That's nuts.
Yeah, this thing's seen some use, doesn't it?
But it's beat. The bore is like, the bore is crazy looking. It looks like lunar landscape in there. And I think somebody at some point took like a nut off of a truck and stuck that on there.
Yeah.
But garage sale like $25.
I think it's got some history though.
But had the like old school side mount bayonet. I mean, it's kind of like a weird crossover between the modern cartridges and the old ones. You can actually see where they re-inletted the wood for the magazine and everything like that. It's a real strange one.
So how many years old is this puppy?
We think, see, my dad was helping me do this stuff. I think it was converted in 1915 is what he figured. So he sat there with some books and was going through it and trying to figure out when they were converting them. Cool. We got converted in 1915, so
right.
They must have made them in probably the early 1900s or late 1800s in order to make it worthwhile to convert them, I would guess. You know, I wanted to smile, hadn't had one of those before. So got this thing at an auction. Paid way too much for it, but I didn't have one. These things are cool.
Oh yeah, it's a beast. So all these probably seen some kills, huh?
You know, it's likely. I mean, most of this stuff is old military service.
Yeah. Crazy. Thing's pretty solid. Feels like it hold up for a while. There you go, Rich.
got like an old Mossberg 12 gauge shotgun that's like bolt action, magazine fed with a dial-a-duck on the end. You know, it's kind of cool. You know, it's like we go, oh, we made progress. We put a magazine in a shotgun. Like, this is so old that they didn't even have serial numbers on the shotguns at that point.
Wow.
Yeah, you just pick what choke you want, and you dial it, right? Full mod. Oh, they're a little further away. Crank, crank. Send it anyway.
It's a cool one. That works, huh?
It does. The biggest problem with those is that the way it's done is it's like a call-it system. So there's all these grooves, and those grooves actually pick up the wadding, and you have to clean it out eventually. But that thing's all ported and everything else.
It's crazy.
I found that at a pawn shop. I always cruise the pawn shops and rescue wayward children like that. You know? It feels bad to leave them there. You know, somebody doesn't want grandpa's stuff and just takes it and ditches it.
How many guns did you say you own right now?
I have no idea.
Lost track.
If it's on the record, I definitely don't know.
Yeah, right.
My wife might see this.
Like that meme I saw recently, like
Yeah.
the government's going to confiscate your guns. You
Voting
hand in
incident.
your 7 guns. and
Yeah.
Actually, only you still have 30 guns left.
Chinese Mosin
Dang.
with an SKS triangular bayonet.
Wow.
That thing's cool.
It's primitive.
It is. It's got like a chisel tip on the end of the bayonet.
You could tell like they were in a hurry to manufacture
Oh
those
yeah,
things, right?
just knocked them out. Well, you weren't supposed to live very long, so they just handed you a gun and sent you in.
Just a stick with a freaking barrel on it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
But then when you compare it to like theirs, the Arasaka, you know, so this one says the chrysanthemum on it and everything like that. But you can kind of see it's almost the same kind of construction, you know, the Filipino mahogany kind of look, and but yeah, these things are rough. I mean, even the sling bands are all real rough. But you look at the machining on this. I just went through there like in a big old hurry with like an inch end mill. Everything's like just all square and weird. And look at the front sight. I mean,
That's a machinist.
it looks like the sight's wild. You know? But they took the time to put square holes. You know, of all this stuff today, look at that. They actually put square holes in it. They literally broached that.
My problem is I got a bad right eye, so I got to look down the scope.
You gotta go
with my
run
left
away.
eye.
Nice.
Yep.
At least if there was ever a draft, I won't qualify, so I'm good.
There you
I'm
go.
too old for that anyway. Send all the young kids out. That's pretty cool though. I love to shoot some of those. That'd be awesome.
I don't know if I want to.
Probably
Most of these are pretty.
I want to live.
We make better stuff than some guys. It's much more fun when it kind of does what it's supposed
Say
to.
the gun manufacturing's improved a little bit over the years, like
Well, in some ways,
technology.
yes. Yeah.
some
In some ways, yes. Some ways, no. We lost some pretty amazing machining somewhere around the.
Those old trades, right?
Yeah.
Those
You know,
guys
if you
are
look at
amazing.
some of these old sites and stuff. P14.
That's cool.
This one's all plug welded.
Plug welded.
Yeah. When they're demilling them, they actually drilled a hole in the chamber and then plug welded up. Someday I'll throw a new barrel of that one. I don't know if I really need a 303 British P14 to do anything with, but.
Man, those things are heavy, dude. Just carrying these things around.
So those guys are, you know, big dudes like 5'7", 5'8", right?
Yeah, I know, right?
They weigh like 150, 160 pounds. That was a big guy.
Big pack
They're
on
carrying
their back.
the big backpack, this, and then like the 1919,
Malnourished.
one of these little dudes is picking up that thing with a sling and a forward grip on it and rolls in, you know, belt fed, you know,
I think we've gotten a little soft.
a little bit, yeah.
Just a tad bit. And it's crazy what those people can do, man. Like on the limited diet that they had too. Like,
We got Depression era people, right? So they were used to dealing with nothing.
actually the strength of the makes you stronger.
Okay, now,
Yeah,
Did
bunch
you-
of weird stuff.
So those are all your oldies. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
Evan Grand.
Dang. Such a beast. Those are nice guys.
This one here, the barrel shot out a bit too, but it's a pre-war
Oh, right.
Grand, like 3 months
Okay.
before.
Yeah, that's beefy. Yeah.
Decent like old war. Like documentaries and stuff.
forget how heavy these are.
When you're shooting one that's on 6, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I took a 17 Enfield when I was a kid. We converted it to Aught 6, or it was Aught 6 already. We converted it to a hunting rifle, kind of like this one. And you take it down to 6 pounds and put an Aught 6 on it. She's just mean. Yeah, we figured this one here was probably converted. I guess there's a company. What was it called? It was Golden Gate State Arms. So what they're doing is bringing back surplus guns, and then they're converting them to hunting rifles and flipping them. So, but this is kind of cool. It's got the old high score scope on it.
I had one of those, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Japanese.
That's when I was telling you about that scope I got. World War II
Yeah.
era. Was worth anything, those scopes?
I know.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I even found the owner's manual for it.
Really?
That's around here somewhere.
Mine's a little smaller than that, I think. I think same thing. I just picked up at a garage sale or something like that.
Yep.
That's a nice little rifle. Good. Seen enough guns. So yeah, just a brief rundown on your company and your passion behind your company and why you do what you do, and I don't know, just run down on what you believe and what motivates you and gets you up in the morning, stuff like that.
Okay.
And by the way, this is
Aaron Cayce.
Aaron Cayce of
Phoenix Weaponry.
Phoenix Weaponry.
Yep.
Yep.
And we're up here in my conference room, so,
Yep.
you know.
Berthoud, Colorado.
Yep.
We make some pretty awesome guns. Just walk through a few of them.
Yeah, we try. We just jumped to a 10,000 square foot facility a year ago.
Dang.
We've spent most of the year remodeling the place while trying to work, so it's entertaining. You know, trying to get the shop beaten into submission. So we came out of Longmont. We were over there. Started borrowing some time with my one of my friends had a machine shop, so I was renting time from him to make some parts, and then pretty soon we kind of overtook his shop, bought him and his friends out, and so then we ended up buying out that shop, and then another guy had another shop nearby that was wanting to trade spaces, so we doubled in size again. And then this last one's we doubled in size again, get another 6 machining centers, so every about year and a half we seem to move and double in size.
That's what it takes. You don't move, you die, right?
Pretty much.
How long has it been? How long did you?
It's over 6 years now.
6 years running this place.
Yeah.
And so you have several different things that you make. It's not just guns. That's my interest.
Right.
But,
And we support the energy sector, the automotive, automation, industrial, general machine shop stuff. We've made parts for people's motorhomes. I mean,
Nice.
Whatever people need, we do.
I'm an
it.
old RV repair guy. That's what
Nice.
what little aspect of my life was there for a little while till I hurt my arm. So now it's all about just being creative and creating videos and putting ideas out there.
Yeah. I got tired of fixing
Promoting
my
liberty.
RV,
Yeah.
so I upgraded
I still have a
last
couple
year.
that I haven't finished.
Yeah.
I got a collection.
Nice.
RVs.
Yeah, I cut loose our Class C last year because we put, what did we put, 22,000 miles on that thing in like 3 months.
Nice.
Trying to go to different shows all over the place and everything like that. And so that wasn't working real good on a Class C. So we upgraded to a nice big Class A. I got a full-size shower now.
Nice.
I don't know who designs those showers in those Class C's, but you're like underneath there, kind of like throwing the water on yourself. So
Very few of them are made for like big guys.
Yeah.
I've noticed that, but I'm a pretty small guy, so I fit in right. I can live out of one of those things if I have to.
Yeah.
So you do a bunch of stuff, but you're kind of like your hobby end of the business is the guns. That's what your
actually,
main interest is.
we were supposed to be a weapons manufacturer full time.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I started this, and then because of the machine shop that I put together and the quality,
Right.
and then because I've been cutting in this area for over 30 years, people found me again, and then pretty soon we're making parts for a lot of the big aerospace people again, and medical and stuff like that. So we are a weapons manufacturer
Okay.
that dabbles in job shop work.
Okay.
So kind
That's
of the
your
opposite
primary.
of most of the industry, because what will happen most of the time is somebody has a machine shop and then they'll all of a sudden decide that they're going to make gun parts.
Right.
Our focus, why we're here, why this company started was to make weapons.
Okay.
Long range toys.
That's clear.
You know, it's always been a lot of long range stuff, like making custom calibers, like our 4570 Auto. that 338-06 integral suppressed gun downstairs, stuff like that. That's the stuff that's fun. You know, when you take something, it's like this shouldn't go here, and we're gonna do it anyway. You know, so
you have to have me out doing some shooting. That'd be awesome.
We'll definitely go out. And we'll get some tannerite and some stuff.
Who would be your main customers then?
Most of the people that come find us are done with normal weapons. You've had your discount guns, you've had your budget AR, you've had, you know, stuff, you know, it's okay, you know, but it's not good. It's not great. So what I want to make great. I want stuff that is made for you. It needs to be fit to you. It needs to shoot, you know, well below a minute. I mean, we have to be well below a minute for me to be even remotely even interested in it.
So what are some of the boundaries that you're pushing, like on the gun manufacturing end? Like somebody's running through all the specs and stuff down below, and we were looking at all the guns, and I can't remember half of that, but like some of the bullet velocities and all that.
We like going fast. We like to see how far we can go.
Like a big gun, what was that? Do you remember the caliper on that thing?
Yeah, the one that...
One on the entrance wall when you first looked to the right up on top.
My 4570 auto?
Yeah.
We took the 4570 government, and we cut the rim off of it, fill it completely full of powder, a Magnum primer. We're pushing 325 grain bullets at over around 2,400 feet per second. The 250s are now flying at 2,750 feet per second. We got a little carried away with the 500 grainers, and we blew the carrier, the bolt catch, the magazine, the barrel extension, all junk. But because we make the upper lowers out of really good metals and everything's very important how we do things, the upper lower is still completely in spec. The gun never grenaded, nobody got hurt, but we were pushing the upper velocities of a 500 grain bullet. So we're running some Nosler partitions that I'm pretty excited about. They're loading good, but we kept playing with the ladder and going further and further and further and further and further, and I think we found a piece of brass that might not have been as consistent as the others, and we skipped from no signs of pressure to a burst case faster than we should have. So now we're going back again, rework the ladder.
It's a science,
and make sure that the cases, you know, make sure we start measuring depth of pocket and some other stuff to make sure that we're actually positive of the situation. So, but yeah, we're gonna get that 500 flying. It's gonna be glorious. You know,
that's what happens
1
when
ounce.
you're like pushing the boundary, right? I mean, there's always the room for error.
There's no Sammy spec. It's a Wildcat.
Right.
You know, we made our own case. We're putting bullets in it that are, you know.
Yeah, I saw those.
So
I wish I'd had some of those to show. They're massive. Yeah. So you make those?
Yes.
Here?
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
So what other questions do you have for them, Dan?
Well, tell us about your family, your dad and stuff. How did you hang out with your dad a lot and do guns?
Dad and I were always hanging out, going to auctions, picking up surplus weapons, refinishing them, fixing them. My parents owned an antique refinishing business for years, so I ended up learning how to do refinish antiques, build replacement pieces for antiques, woodworking. Didn't really like it. Nothing was ever straight or square, so it kind of bugged me. Found a high school metals class, loved it. My dad found a place called the Career Development Center in Longmont, had a machine shop school, and so I went there, did that. Didn't do well with curriculum, kind of got sidetracked by other stuff. I ended up getting like a B or something like that in machine shop. And
see, we never had that hands-on stuff when I was in school. That might have kept me in school a little longer.
That's pretty much the only reason I really finished high school. I didn't really see a whole lot of benefit from English class or some of the other stuff. My machine shop teacher taught me algebra in like 3 hours. All the stuff I had troubles with in school, he was like, well, here's how to do it, and this is why it's done, and this is what it's for.
This is what you need to know, and I was like, move on.
This is easy. And so I got kind of distracted by fixing. When we were there, we had an automotive class that was across the way, a welding class, and they actually had a print shop. So the print shop actually had a real printing machine, and they were always breaking the thing. So I got to make all sorts of gears and shafts and all sorts of crazy stuff. And then, of course, the guys over in automotive would bust a bolt off in a head, or, you know, this needs to be cut off. We're doing that, and so here I'm pretty much fixing those. And then the school got a cutter grinder in, and so we were able to regrind end mills and fix things like that. And so I started cutting all the end mills for the classes, and
just industrious. You just had that drive to get into that.
Yeah, there was an old lathe there that was broken for years, and my instructor and I, we rebuilt it, made a way that you could. We made a clear cover for the top so you could see all the gears move. We made all the stuff to move the gears around, all the levers,
That's cool.
a couple of the dogs and the gear shifts. So we actually made all that stuff, and then we were able to use the old Monarch lathe for making parts at the school. So I hated corporate America. Corporate America was awful. You know, corporate issued policies and the PC world and the. If you look at this person that way, or if you say this, and it's just like you can't do anything without it getting in trouble at some point.
Oh yeah.
The politics involved, where people start. I was always kind of in a position where, a program would be fighting over me with this program, and then pretty soon the politics get involved, and then, it's
always
just
politics.
brutal. I hated it. I hated doing it.
And like you say, that corporate climate, I swear. They're multinational corporations much of the time, and they could care less about what country they reside in. That's what really gets under my skin. It's like Walmart right now is trying to mandate mask wearing. I don't know, that's a little pet peeve of mine, but you know what? If you're on American soil, you should have to respect like our laws, the laws of the land, man, the Constitution.
They're changing fast right now.
Yeah,
it is a moving target.
Yep.
So
I say the more ground we give, the more they'll take, and eventually we got nothing left to stand on. That's my thing.
The problem that we need to understand with what we're dealing with is that the other side understands this is a game of small bites. We seem to think that there's a line somewhere drawn.
Nope.
That we cannot, that this is the line, and it's not the case. They work the edges, come back to the center, work the center for a little while, work another edge, just little nibbles. Pretty soon mag band, pretty soon it's bump stock band, pretty soon it's sig brace band.
Gradualism.
It's
and it works generationally, so you don't notice it. Like the frog in boiling water thing.
Just slowly turn up the temperature.
Slowly, and it just feels normal after a while. Like this is what America's. That's what I'm trying to. On my vlog recently, I'm just trying to get people to wake up every morning and recognize what country we live in. Recognize we're free Americans still, right?
And if you're in Minneapolis, I don't know if you'd recognize it anymore.
Exactly.
I mean, that looks like something out of Baghdad. I mean,
I've been watching it.
It's
but
amazing.
It's this mentality, this slave mentality people have. All right, just go along to get along. Put on the mask. There's no science behind it, but just wear the mask because the officials tell us to. And
they're going to hit you with a $1,000 fine.
Yeah.
Is that what it's at right now?
Yeah. For not wearing a mask. And as a business, if you don't mandate the mask, they're willing to pull your business license.
Right.
You have to wear this 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
He's professional.
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes, he's like, "You got your mask?" I'm like, "I'm not putting the mask on." And that's what puts us kind of in a tight spot too, is because I want to support local businesses because of the wrecking of the economy going on right now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they have to abide by these rules, I mean, God, it's tough. I love to support you, but I don't want to go into a place
we went from them forcing somebody to bake a cake for somebody they didn't want to bake a cake for, to telling the business that if you see somebody without a mask, you have to tell them you can't come in.
Yep.
So either we have the choices as a business to serve who we want, when we want, or how we want, or we don't.
Right.
But it's
it's always changing. I think they want to keep us in this psychologically stunned state right now, where it's just we don't know what's right, what's wrong, what freedoms we do have, what we can do. Each day we got to go in to check in.
As long as you're back on your heels, you're not advancing.
Yeah.
Right? We're back on our heels. We're backpedaling constantly.
Yep.
Everybody's scared to be called any of the number of things that they decide to call us.
Yep.
And
anti-masker. That's what I am. I guess.
And then you're a bad person, and so then nobody wants to be a bad person.
Yep.
But now you're a bad person because, you're just a bad person. And so then now you're sitting here going, well, I'm not a bad person, but now I'm a bad person. And,
I know about that.
I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. I mean, I haven't done anything bad, but...
We're just intrinsically evil. You got to get used to it, right? So. Everything we do.
Yeah, definitely.
Stop squeaking on the chair. Driving me nuts. Because that's going to show up on the video.
Nice.
And all those little sound effects.
Yeah.
All right, anything else you wanted to cover about the business?
No.
I'm particularly interested in the guns just because they're all cool looking.
Yeah, we like making guns.
Second Amendment for sure.
We're really enjoying the integral suppressed items we've made.
You have plenty of orders right now, right? With the chaos climate going on right now.
We operate outside that. People aren't panic buying $1,200 guns.
But they're being when the police don't show up to your neighborhood, you got to be responsible on your own, right, to defend your own self. And so some people have taken it into their own hands to
Yes.
police certain areas, and I say the more the merrier, because I'm all about like supporting the police right now, because it's like, who wants that job?
Well, it'd be a brutal, awful
like,
job.
with
Show
the-
up to the same trailer park every day.
Yeah.
You know, for the same issues with the same people over and over and,
And
over
literally
again.
having like the media just throw you under the bus, like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
the enemy of the free world
Well,
right now. The police.
Not even a month ago, it was
Yeah.
thank your first responders. They were in the
Right.
hero category along
Right.
with the nurses, the EMTs, I mean
Mhm.
everything else, and now completely shunned.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like,
And it's like the new, like I said, they've taken it from like the war on terror to the war on law and order. I swear, the way the media paints the picture is like the police, the ones that keep the order, are the enemy right now.
Yes.
They're releasing criminals by tens of thousands out into the streets
Yep.
to keep them safe from COVID.
Mhm.
They're putting everybody on a mask
Mhm.
that gives them that ability to go
Anonymity.
around. Yeah, anonymity.
Yep.
And so it's just like this perfect storm. I swear, it's just like sometimes you can't write the script.
it's
It's
just
just
absolutely surreal.
yeah.
Absolutely surreal. I
Too
don't
many
even know
things
what to
start
say.
adding up, and you're like, all right,
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
where are we headed next, right? Anything else you want to cover?
Where are you headed next? What's your next
With your
goal?
business,
What-
yes.
yeah.
We are headed towards. I want to be a national, high-end weapons manufacturer. I think we might be there already. One of the
What
things
is
I've
an
noticed.
example of that? I mean, is there another company or any other?
I try not to mention them.
Yeah.
Anytime you mention something, it gives them power.
Right.
And I don't. I believe as long as you
What does that look
focus
like?
on
Then, I
your-
guess.
uh,
I agree.
probably
with you.
another 2 or 3 moves, and much larger facility, and
Mm-hmm.
rows and rows and rows of machines, and
Be in
you know,
every gun shop in the nation.
maybe not every, but I'd like to be known for making really nice, really efficient, really precise weapons. I want us to be stay in that when you're done messing around with the regular normal stuff,
Right.
we're here.
Right.
That's what I want. When you're done, everybody needs to get a $300 AR at some point in their life, right?
Yep.
And some are great, some aren't.
Right.
But I can't handle the aren't, right? It has to be, each one has to be great.
So
So-
you'd like in yours, like what kind of a car would you like in your guns too? Like a Cadillac?
No, way beyond that. More exotic,
Ferrari?
something.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something where when
Ferrari
you
of
see
guns.
one, you know what it is.
Yep.
You don't need to brag about it. The
Yeah, I
Ferrari
appreciate that.
has like this little tiny emblem on the hood.
Mm-hmm.
It's not written all the way down the
Yep.
side of it. It's just this little tiny
You
emblem
look
on
at
the
the
hood.
craftsmanship inside.
If you know,
those
you know.
things.
If you
Yep.
don't, you don't know.
Yep.
Like real nice watches.
Yep.
I mean, when you see them, you know what they are.
Right.
Somebody's rolling 50, 70, $100,000 watch. It looks different. It feels different. Sounds
Right.
different. There's a difference, and so that's really what I want. Is I
Yep.
want to be exotic. Just the.
I can respect
It's
that
fast
too.
and-
Like be the best in your industry. Just that drive that would keep me going every day too.
Any possibility of doing some government work, like for the military or anything?
We have some stuff coming. We've shipped out a couple toys to some different places. I want to get involved with the people that have the P card. There's certain groups that have access. They don't have to worry about stuff. They just, this is the best. We want it.
Right.
Here's the card.
Right.
So that's definitely one of the things. Some of how we started the company was based on some of my friends and what they were finding as deficiencies in the weapons that they were given, and then asked to do unreasonable things with them, and the amount of time on station and what they're subjecting them to. They were not built for that. They were built for something else, maybe, not quite that kind of situation. So we want to make that kind of extra level of hardware where it will survive long term in an environment for on station doing things that are necessary.
I've heard stories of the AKs and how reliable those things were, and they could like
Yep.
drop them in a pool of mud and pick
Yep.
them back up again. They'll
Right.
just keep shooting.
Yeah. Well, the biggest problem for the AR is the tight tolerances on it. It doesn't like the mud. It doesn't like being dirty.
Right.
So when we make like duty weapons, they get a different set of tolerances than, let's say, a precision weapon. A precision weapon, if it's dirty, it's not going to run.
Really?
Mhm.
Mm.
But when we make a gun for somebody, we need to know what are you doing with, what is your intent for this weapon? What's its job? Once a weapon has a job, then it can be made for that purpose.
Right.
And it stops being generic. Once you have the tool for the job, it's fine. Like I compare it to like hammers. How many kinds of hammers do you have?
Right.
Probably 20, 30 hammers. They're all hammers, but they all have a very specific job.
Got a sledgehammer, got a mallet.
Tack hammers. But so I look at firearms the same way. Bullet weights, velocities, calibers, magazine capacities, action styles, everything all has a purpose. It all has a job. If you want a hunting rifle, we want to hold a certain amount of pounds, 6 to 8 pounds roughly. We want to go with some sort of a projectile that's going to have a lot of energy at distance. We want to do these things. If you need something that you need to, maybe be on patrol and you need a kind of more of a mil-spec-ish kind of thing that you are going to have to maybe have some interchangeability of magazines and stuff like that, that's a different animal. Different the calibers, the magazine fitting, everything has to be more geared towards that.
Right.
We can't have it so tight that it cannot function.
Vertical bandsaw fixed this the other day. We got a big horizontal. We got vertical racks, horizontal racks. We got parts for, we got some stuff from Los Alamos coming through now, a little bit of nuclear. We got a grinding area, all this has got to get cleaned up again, but we have OD, ID, surface and tool grinders.
Equipment.
What was that? So just finishing up all the power materials, so these are all the upgrades coming. Board. I specified grain direction when I purchased my material, and it's all special heat treated 775 T7, so that way it has stress relief, and then because the grain goes this way, it doesn't warp or twist as bad. It's all domestic. So we're getting ready to get that fixed up, cleaned up, got for $1. So the goal for that lathe is to basically these 3 lathes here put on parts. And then when they come out, we use a little part off tool or tip on it. We'll go into here and get finished taps and face the camera. We're getting ready to run our whole batch of forward blowers. So we got all these ready to go. We got our 4th axis up, Cody right now setting up for engraving. Hey Cody, doing your intro. You all good? Okay. Here, pick up 0. You'll level one out where the bird goes, right? And then you're gonna have to set each one with the depth point every single time because they're all different. Over here we're running stuff. Lowers. So we're pumping out the lowers, all 3 ops. Wow. Well, sure. Normally we do them in the horizontal, but the horizontal is so big it's not going to uppers, but we're going to fire up this one. Then everybody bought up all the other lowers, so now that machine we run lowers. So we have 2 machines running lowers, and 1 machine running uppers. So I don't think I can ever run a business down. So much to think about. Driving insane. I got Spice and Group is going to make monthly deliveries of metal for me for a while, so I don't have 500 pieces of billet laying around. Every month they're going to deliver me 100. So crazy. Every 30 days. All the balance, man.
I need to start driving.
Oil company. So this is all a velocity meter. That's what we're doing. It goes inside a pipe and affects the velocity. Pretty cool. Wowzers. None of the space part, so it's part of a rocket. Like, what do you mean by nuclear? Like nuclear plants or support? Yeah. It's not like a dark or something. I've done some of that. Yeah, yeah. We support energy, space, aerospace, medical tools, implants. What else? Automation, automotive. You name it.
Nice little gun. Are you guys working?
Trying to disassemble a brand new 1894 Marlin to thread for a reload suppressor adapter.
Sweet.
That's the only way I could see it coming out.
Much.
And those are going to be really tough to come by these days. Everybody needs to protect the toilet paper, apparently.
It's essential.
I was just looking for an obscure, I was looking for a Taurus Raging Bull 44 mag revolver. And if they're selling out of those, that means everybody's out of everything else that's decent for defense. Yeah, we're making receivers right now, so and they're not too damn overpriced. The prices have been rising, like my blood pressure is with all this crazy stuff going on. Yep. You can stroll that if. Go ahead. Well, I'll be at the gun show too. Yeah, well, I'll be at the gun show. If you walk the show and don't see anything you like, just walk over my table and I'll start taking notes and we'll build you something.
private collection, right?
This in here is all show. So
Yeah.
what you're seeing in here is the demo toys, you're seeing the personal toys, you're seeing prototypes, things like that. You're not seeing stuff for sale. So some of these will be models of things for sale, like Trouble, you know, the suppressors.
Just yeah.
Good.
Pretty
Come
nice.
by.